You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the Artistic Director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Actors who neglect this get left behind. Fact. That is what we are diving into in today's episode, because I do not want you getting left behind in the industry. It's tough enough as it is, so we don't need to make it any harder for ourselves. We need to make it as simple and as easy as possible. And as you always hear me say, an acting career is doable. It is, but you simply cannot neglect this thing. Now, before I dive into it, let me share who I am. I'm Louise. I've been coaching actors for over 13 years, as you know from the intro. So many of my students under my guidance have gone on to achieve such amazing things with their careers. It starts out with them testing the waters in student films, and then they develop from there. They get into independent films, then they start winning awards for their performances in independent films. Then they grow and they get an agent or a bigger and better agent. Then they start auditioning for soaps. They get cast in guest lead roles in soaps. They get cast in stage plays, Amazon Prime films, Netflix dramas. One of our ex-students, alumni, whatever you want to call them, has also had a film out at the cinema at Cineworld in the UK. So everything that I'm sharing with you is approached in a way in which I've coached my actors in the classes. And it's allowed them to go on and achieve their acting goals. So if you listen to what I'm sharing and you take it on board and actively implement it, there's absolutely no reason why you too can't achieve your acting goals. Now, before I dive into this thing that many actors are neglecting, have you registered your place at our up-and-coming free workshop? It's called In Character, Polish Your Performances and Get Cast Quicker. This is an amazing deep dive into method acting, and it's for actors of all levels. So you can be new, you can be regularly auditioning, you could have had a break and be returning to the industry. So it's for actors of all levels who want to get their hands on 3 powerful method acting exercises that are going to help you get deeper into the character so you get cast way more than you did in 2023. So I have left a link for you underneath the episode. You must go and register your place for that, because it is going to make such a big difference to your acting. I just want to share a comment that Rebecca, who's in our Unstoppable Actors group, shared when I asked who's registered their place at it. And she said, I may have regrets later that day, but I've signed up 4 a.m. in Australia. Pumped. So you can be from anywhere in the world to sign up for this free workshop. It's not limited to a specific place geographically. So Rebecca's signed up and she's going to be participating in the workshop at 4 a.m. Australian time. How exciting. I'm so over the moon by her dedication, because that commitment is the thing that's going to help her really achieve her acting goals much, much quicker. So please don't make excuses as to why you can't join this workshop, because you can be from anywhere in the world. You can be of any level of experience. All you need is the passion for acting and the desire to achieve your acting goals this year. That is it. Oh, and an internet connection. That's it. It's a very practical workshop. So I've left the link underneath the episode. Once you've listened to this episode, go ahead and register your place just like Rebecca did. So let's dive in. Actors who neglect this thing that I'm going to share with you get left behind. So I'm going to share a story with you. And this story at first is going to seem like it has got absolutely nothing to do with acting, but it has a big acting lesson in it. So I'm going to ask you to stay with me. So in 2017, I was the heaviest I'd ever been weight-wise, and I felt absolutely horrible. Me and my sister weighed ourselves one day, and I was like, oh my good Lord, I knew I'd put weight on, but I didn't know I'd put this much weight on. And it wasn't really about the number on the scale. It was more about how I felt inside in myself. I felt horrible in my clothes. I just didn't feel my best. Okay, so I signed up to the gym. And now, 7 years later, I still train 5-6 times a week, and I do a combination of running, weight training, and self-defense. I am 2 stone lighter than I was in 2017, and next year I am 40 years of age. And I don't believe that I look nearly 40, and it's because I don't have any health or fitness issues. So training and looking after my health keeps me youthful and healthy. Now bear with me with this because there is an acting lesson in it, and I'm going to pull apart this story and I'm going to show you how this relates to acting and how there is a lesson in this that if you neglect this one thing with your acting, that's inspired by my health journey, you will get left behind. In much the same way that I train 5-6 times a week with running, weight training, self-defense, I train my imagination every single day. And I do it with the 3 foundational method acting exercises. And this means that just like when I train with running and weight training, it keeps me youthful, it keeps me healthy, and I don't have any health issues, I don't have any fitness issues, I don't have any imagination issues, I don't have any issues with overthinking, with nerves, and I am able to make quick, interesting character choices and get into character quickly. I don't have any problems with that because I commit every single day to my 3 foundational method acting exercises, which means just like my fitness has been strengthened from going to the gym 5-6 times a week, my imagination is youthful and it is strengthened by training it every single day. Now I go to the gym, run and do self-defense 5-6 times a week, even when I don't want to. And I train my imagination every single day with those 3 foundational method acting exercises, even on the days I don't want to. That's important for you to know because I am showing up in a disciplined way. I am not motivated all of the time. Nobody is. Absolutely no actor on the planet is motivated every single day to show up every single day for their acting career. But if we can put lack of motivation to one side and replace it with discipline, you will not get left behind. But if you neglect your training and let lack of motivation take over and do other things that don't help you with your acting, you will get left behind. But I want to go deeper into this because I know it's inspiring hearing, oh, we'll replace lack of motivation with discipline, but actually it can be quite hard to do that, can't it? Because the feelings of lack of motivation seem to take over and they feel more intense and the discipline feels hard. So this is how I did it with my health and my weight and my fitness journey. And I took what worked with that and I implemented it with my acting. So I had a plan. So with my health, weight and fitness journey, I had a plan. And then I started to realize that plans worked with that so they would work with my acting. So the plan was this. I knew I was going to sign up to the gym. I didn't know what I was doing and I thought it would be boring because I didn't really have loads of knowledge on strength training and weight training. But the plan was to go to the gym and learn to get this weight off and to feel good about myself. But here's the thing, I didn't train on my own because I knew if I signed up to the gym and just went to the gym on my own and tried to just go on the treadmill and go on the cross trainer, I knew that I would quit very, very soon. I knew I would quit sooner, I should say. So instead what I did is I signed up to a boot camp which was going to be taken by a PT and it had other people in the class. So it was a class of about 16 people. And I did that because being in a community of like-minded individuals on a similar journey would keep me motivated. And also I wanted to learn because I didn't really know about weight loss. I didn't really know about improving my fitness and my strength. And so by joining a boot camp with other people in it, it kept me on track. So that was the plan. So firstly, you have to know exactly why you are pursuing acting beyond feeling passionate about it. So is it that you hate your day job? Is that feeling of hating your day job and dreading going to work every single day the motivation that you need that will propel you to making your acting goals a reality? Is it that you feel stuck in life? Do you just feel like your life is not really getting anywhere? Have you had a lot of challenges in life recently and you're sick of them? When there's something very strong inside of you, you will be more committed to your acting career. And if I take you back to what I said about the weight, it wasn't really the number on the scale, although that did shock me. It was just how shit I felt in my clothes and how horrible and disgusting I felt in them. I did not feel good about myself. And that feeling of not feeling good was a very strong reason why I would then change my health and fitness. When I go back to my acting, it's the same with that. When I very first got started with acting, I was getting bullied really, really badly at school. And I just hated the school that I went to. I hated the place that I was being brought up and I wanted to get out of it. So that was my reason why. And it was very, very strong. For me, it will always come from negative feelings, but for you, it might be different. It might come from positive feelings, or it may come from negative. But what is the reason why you are pursuing acting beyond feeling passionate about it? Get super duper clear on that. Once you've got clear on that, next, you've got to get yourself into a community of others who are on a similar journey to you. So other actors who are in the early stages of their acting career, who are also learning just like you. This is what I did in the early days with my acting, when I just hated being on the council estate that I was being brought up on, when I hated being at school where I was getting bullied. I got myself into acting classes. And with the fitness journey, I got myself into the boot camp, as you've already heard me say, because I got around like-minded individuals, because it's uplifting. It keeps you motivated. It keeps your spirits high. So you need to get into a community with other actors on a similar journey to you, because you'll stick to it then. You'll form friendships with other people, just like I formed friendships with other actors, and then I formed friendships with other people on the health journey with me. And when you've got friends doing it, we do what others around us are doing, because we become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. So you need to get yourself into acting classes, which is why I'm saying come and join the workshop, which is happening on the 27th of January, because you will get yourself into a community of other actors on a similar journey to you. You'll start making friends. You'll feel better being amongst other people who are doing this with you, because it's really hard to do it on your own. It can get lonely doing it on your own. The other thing is, you have to be humble enough to know you do not know everything there is to know about acting, and you do need to learn new things that will make you a better actor. Just like I was humble enough to know I don't really know much about weight loss, I don't really know much about improving my strength, and I don't really know much about improving my fitness. I was humble enough to know that, and that's why I got myself in the classes, because I had a hunger to learn. Likewise with my acting, I knew I didn't know everything about it. In fact, I barely knew anything about it when I first got started, and I was humble enough to admit that I had a desire to learn, and you've got to have a desire to learn as well, a desire to learn and grow. You've got to commit to that. You have to commit to the learning, because if you don't, you will literally stay stuck, and you are making it harder for yourself, and that's how you'll get overlooked and neglected. Secondly, when it comes to the learning, you've got to keep up the training. You've got to keep going to the classes, even when you feel like, yeah, we're doing the same exercises, I know this. It was the same for me with the weight loss. I joined the boot camps. I lost the weight within the first 2 boot camps. That was within 16 weeks, but I then went to a further 2 boot camps after that, so another 16 weeks, because I knew I needed this to become a lifestyle. I didn't need to lose any more weight after that, and my goals changed then. They changed to improve my fitness and to maintain the weight loss and to improve my strength, and that's why I then kept going. So you've got to go to acting classes, and you've got to keep going, so you're always learning, because at first what you'll start learning is how to overcome the nerves and how to give more relaxed performances, and once you've practiced that and you've got proficient at that, then there'll be a new challenge that you've got to overcome, just like with me in the boot camps. It'll no longer be about, well, I'm nervous. Now it'll be about, oh, actually, I've got to keep going, because now I need to know how to make deeper emotional connections. And then once you've got proficient at that, it'll change again, and you'll have a new goal, and it'll be something along the lines of, now I've got to know how to create characters that look and sound different from myself and from all the other characters that I'm playing. And then your goal will change again, and that's why you have to keep going to classes and keep learning, so you're always practicing and you're making this a lifestyle, because this is where actors go wrong. They don't make it a lifestyle. So many, I see them join our free classes, and they'll dip in and out of the free classes, but they then won't continue the learning after that. And then they have results with their acting career that match that dipping in and out commitment that they've got. So you've got to keep going. You've got to keep going so you don't get left behind, and so you have consistency with your learning, with your growth, and with actually staying in the industry as well, and being around others who are also being proactive, because then that rubs off on you and you become proactive as well. You see, when you dip in and out of classes, you just simply don't get momentum going. You don't get the results that you're after. It would have been like me doing 1 boot camp and then taking time off and going, oh, fuck this, I'm not doing this again because it costs money. Yeah, it costs money, but that money was an investment. I got more back in terms of my long-term health than what I actually put in financially. And so it will be the same with you. Yeah, you're going to have to pay for classes. You need to accept that. You are going to have to pay for acting classes, but you will get way more out of them than the finances that you're putting in. If I think about one of my old acting students who got a role on Netflix, they had 5 lines. So it was quite a small role, but they got paid £3,000 for it. So yes, they've paid for the acting classes with me, and they've learned all they've needed to learn to enable them to get that role. And then they've got paid way more than they've actually paid for the acting classes. And then that's led to other opportunities where they've got paid more again. So you've got to start thinking in a business sense. Think about your return on investment. That's how you have to start thinking. But many actors don't think like that. They just think, oh my God, I'm paying money and I'm skint and Yeah, you might be skint for a little bit, but try and cut out things in other places then that you're spending money on that you don't necessarily need to be spending money on. Because when you've got the consistency of the classes, the community, the learning, I promise you now, you will start to see results happen in your acting career. And when you learn the 3 foundational method acting exercises and you commit to doing them every day and you plan them into your day, honestly, your confidence will grow. And when you have more confidence, you'll be more proactive with your acting career. Then you won't get neglected. Then you won't get left behind. So how I do it with my gym training is I put it in my planner. I've got a diary and I put it in my diary. What days I'm going to go on a run, what days I'm going to train my upper body, what days I'm going to train my legs, what days I go to self-defense. And when it's in my diary, it's in my diary and I can see it now and I stick to that and I tick it off when I've done it. I feel crap when I've not ticked it off and when I've missed a day. And it's the same with my 3 foundational method acting exercises. They go in my diary and they are the first thing I do upon waking before I go on a walk, because I know they will make me feel better as an actor. So I carve out 30 minutes in the morning to do these exercises and I feel so good and so proud of myself for doing them. And all you need is 30 minutes a day to dedicate to your acting exercises. You don't need to do them first thing in the morning like me. Maybe that works for you, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can do them as soon as you get home from work. Maybe you can do them just before you go to bed. But if you are saying to me or to yourself that you don't have 30 minutes a day to practice your foundational method acting exercises, then why are you even wanting to make an acting career happen? You've really got to question that, because the acting industry moves fast and it is doable. It is doable to make an acting career happen. But if you're saying you don't have 30 minutes a day, then what are you even pursuing it for? I know that when you start neglecting your daily training, you will get behind and you will get neglected and overlooked. I have trained hundreds of unknown and aspiring actors, and the ones that commit to these exercises daily are the ones that get the results. They can create more interesting characters and they start getting cast more often. They didn't sit back. They knew that to stand out in a fast-paced acting industry, they had to keep learning, they had to keep practicing, they had to keep improving. And it's simpler than what you think. Get the exercises from an expert method acting coach with a track record. Set aside those 30 minutes, put it in your planner. Do it either first thing in the morning, do it on your dinner break, or when you get back from work, or just before you go to bed, and commit to doing it every single day. And then it will start to feel like it's become a part of your day and it will just be the norm. Just like me training 5-6 times a week at the gym is, just like me doing my foundational method acting exercises every single morning is. And it really is that simple. And you are more than capable of this. So if this is resonating with you, it's making you feel inspired, it's making you feel pumped, now go and sign up for the free workshop on the 27th of January. It's called In Character, Polish Your Performances and Get Cast Quicker. And I will be sharing with you the skills that other actors aren't using. I'm going to guide you through them practically so you can start standing out and start implementing these into your daily practice and start getting cast much, much quicker. It is the best thing you can do for your acting career right now because it will keep your motivation levels high and you will feel good about yourself. So go and register for that class, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.